there, welcome once again to a brand new lesson on Let's Talk. And I'm Alicia, and I'm here today to discuss with you a very natural expression that all of us have. So, what's a natural? Yes, I'm going to talk about English fillers. Fillers that all of us use whilst we communicate. And why is it natural? Yes, it is indeed natural for all of us to use fillers, and it's perfectly okay to use them. However, we must make attempts to eliminate them, to minimize the usage of fillers. And why should you and I minimize the usage of fillers? We must minimize them because a filler is usually a meaningless word. The word has no meaning and it expresses a pause. It indicates that the speaker wants to pause. So, for example, if I want to describe the heat outside, I may say, it's very, I'm trying to present my thoughts and I want to articulate them, but I'm not able to because I'm hunting for words. So I want to indicate something to you, but I'm not able to because I'm buying time with the help of this filler whilst I look for the right word to express myself. Hence, fillers, as we know, are meaningless. They have no meaning. So even if you eliminate fillers from a sentence, the meaning of the sentence will not change. So let's look at some fillers that we very commonly use. The one is okay. I'm sure all of us use that. The other one is right. We also say like, I'm very fond of like, I like, like. These are all fillers. We also use are, can you, we use all of this very often. Now, how do you eliminate them? Can you completely eliminate them from your communication? You perhaps can't, but you definitely can minimize their usage. So how do you do so? So the first step that you have, which is going to help you to minimize them, is identify how often do you use fillers. Do you use fillers very, very often? Do you use fillers after every sentence? Do you use fillers because you're very, very unconfident? Or do you use fillers when you're nervous? So first of all, identify the problem. The first step towards a solution is identification of the problem. So go ahead, watch yourself, check yourself to figure out how often do you use fillers. So when I do listen to myself, I see that sometimes I tend to use very often. So that's my identification. The second one is know the filler that you use. All of us have an inclination to use one specific filler. So I have a friend who uses very often. I have a lot of people like to use like. The movie was like, can you like, do this for me like, quickly like, because I have to present it. So people tend to have inclination to use one specific filler. So what I need you to do is I need you to know the filler that you specifically use very, very often. And then, of course, slow down. We don't have to rush. Now, what happens when you slow down? Now, we all know that usages of fillers happen when we are trying to process our thoughts in our brain and we are hunting for words and buying some time to articulate our thoughts in our communication. Now, if you do it very quickly, if you want to talk about very quickly, my name is Alicia and I'm a trainer and I train in XYZ. If I speak very fast, then I will end up using a filler because my thoughts are not processing at that speed. It's going to take some time for my brain to understand what's the next thing that I want to say, and then I will be able to articulate that with the right choice of words. So if you slow down, It's going to aid your communication. It's going to help you to understand what is it that you want to say, pick up the right word that you want to use to express yourself, and there you go. You will not need to use fillers very often. All right, practice. Now, why is practice important? Well, we all know that practice will make you more comfortable, will familiarize yourself with the content, and with thorough and repeated practice, you will end up memorizing a lot of content that you want to speak. So in the end, what happens is you know exactly what you want to say, and hence you will not need fillers because you will not need the time, you will not need the ability, or you will not have a need to buy time. So if you practice, so say for example, I have to present something in front of a crowd, or I have to take a class with you. If I practice my lesson thoroughly, then I know what is it that I exactly want to say after a particular idea. And if I practice that very well, I will not have to buy time, and hence if I'm not buying time, I will eliminate naturally the use of fillers. Okay, chunking. What is this concept? Chunking is a concept which is used very often by public speakers. Chunking meaning a sudden outburst of words and then take a pause and then say the next idea. So if I want to talk to you about, say, clothing. Oh, I like various kind of clothing, and I think how you want to dress up is a very personal idea. So what did I do? I gave you a sudden outburst of an idea. I took a pause and then I went to the next idea. So chunking is nothing but simply giving a sudden outburst of ideas or words, taking a pause, and then presenting the next idea. Focus. Friends, do not get distracted when you are presenting yourself, be it in your office, be it in your college, or in a debate, or in a test that you have to give. Concentrate on what you want to say, because the moment you get distracted, you are likely to forget, and there is going to be a breakage in your thoughts, and you will begin to use fillers, because you will not be able to articulate what you want to think because your mind is already distracted towards another direction. And gesticulate. What do you mean by that? This is what gesticulate means, making gestures. When you gesticulate, it helps you to speak what you want to speak, and it also helps you to completely concentrate on the idea that you want to express. And last but not the least, relax. Relax, because when you relax, it's a sense of peaceful. It's a sense of being, it's a sense of well-being. You're at peace with yourself. You know what you're going to say is going to sound right. You know what you're going to say is going to make a lot of sense, and hence you need to relax. So if you relax, you are thinking clearly, you're looking for the right words to express yourselves, and whilst doing so, you're most likely to not use fillers. So I'm going to give you a quick recap. First of all, what I want you to do is identify how often do you use those fillers. What is that one filler that you believe you use too much and you want to get rid of it? Slow down. When you speak, slow down. Work on your rate of speech. I'm working on mine. Practice. I always keep telling you, continue to practice, because that's going to bring in two things into you. Confidence, and you will automatically smile and know what you're going to talk about. Chunking, say what you want to say, take a pause and move to the next idea. Focus, focus on what you want to speak. Do not get distracted by anyone standing up or anyone saying something. Just concentrate on what you want to say and present. Gesticulate, make gestures, use the best use of your hands. They're going to help you present yourself in a better manner. And of course, relax, because I know you're going to do very well. And you should know you're going to do very well. So there is no need for you to be anxious. All right, practice all of this and I'm sure you will be able to eliminate the usage of fillers. Till the next lesson, keep the practice on. Goodbye.